फिर शत्रु मेरा, कौन है फिर शत्रु मेरा, मित्र में किसको बनाऊं, देव दो हस्तावलंबन, आत्म का साक्षात पाऊं, देव दो हस्तावलंबन।
ओम अरहम, ओम अरहम, ओम अरहम, ओम अरहम, ओम अरहम,
मैं विभावों में फला हूँ, मैं स्वभावों से छला हूँ, मैं विभावों में फला हूँ, मैं स्वभावों से छला हूँ, मैं स्वयं मेरे अहम को, मैं स्वयं मेरे अहम को, आज चिन्मय में मिला, देव दो हस्तावलंबन, आत्म का साक्षात पाऊं, देव दो हस्तावलंबन। सफल हो अभियान मेरा, अमल हो अवधान मेरा, सफल हो अभियान मेरा, अमल हो अवधान मेरा, देव तुलसी की शरण में, देव तुलसी की शरण में, अमिट की लो में जलाऊं, देव दो हस्तावलंबन, आत्म का साक्षात पाऊं। देव दो हस्तावलंबन, आत्म का साक्षात पाऊं, देव दो हस्तावलंबन, आत्म का साक्षात पाऊं, सो रहे इस सिंह शिशु को, आज मैं फिर से जगाऊं, सो रहे इस सिंह शिशु को, आज मैं फिर से जगाऊं, देव दो हस्तावलंबन, आत्म का गहराइयों में, सत्य की गहराइयों में उतर प्रभु को ढूंढ लाओ। देवदो हस्तावलंबन आत्म का साक्षात पाओ। देवदो
Om Arham everyone. JVB London welcomes you all to this bank holiday special talk on Monday afternoon. I'd like to invite Gunjanji, and a member of JVB Executive Committee, to initiate the talk, please.
Sure. Thank you, Shubhamji. Om Arham, everyone. Vandami Namam Swami. Before I embark upon introducing Sohum and Rhim, I would like to talk in brief about JVB's holistic approach to cater to all age groups, from kids starting at the age of 4 to the youth and to our elders. The day starts with daily Preksha meditation, followed by Bhaktamar Stotra. There are daily classes organized under JVB Gyanshala banner, where kids and the families, the whole family, learn about Bhaktamar Stotra. The meaning of the Stotra is explained by respected Samnijis in detail. There are regular sessions organized by Samnijis to discuss Jain scriptures. Currently, Samnijis talk about the Swayalyam and Vipak Sutra in detail. We formed JVB Kids Committee, where kids are encouraged to define their own agenda in terms of what they want to learn, and obviously that helps the kids to start thinking about and start learning the presentation skills. The JVB Gyanshala's weekly classes has been a huge success. JVB has become truly global, where Samnijis both from UK and US share their wealth of knowledge, experience with participants across the globe. They say where there is a will, there is a way. With help from our tech experts in JVB, we are successfully marching ahead in achieving our objectives of celebrating Acharya Mahapragyaji's birth centenary in a meaningful way. This wouldn't have been possible without Samniji's leadership and guidance, particularly in current scenario. JVB has also been helping many people on different grounds, including medical issues, supply of essentials, and more importantly, around moral support. The effort here has been well appreciated and recognized in multiple forums. Sunil Ji Duggar, who is our trustee, one of our trustee, mentioned to me today morning only two of these recognition that JVB received in the recent past. People who are facing health issues, acute fear, anxiety, including physical, mental, or emotional distress due to current corona pandemic. Dr. Samni Pratibha Pragyaji has fixed hours to provide consultation every day, and a number of us are getting benefited with this. I know I missed a lot, and the above is simply a very short highlight to explain how we turn the current COVID-19 situation from a challenge to an opportunity. Talking about challenge, managing challenge in itself managing change in itself is a challenge. Yeah. We've got Sohum and Rhim with us who would talk more about how to respond to change. Soham and Rhim have been devout followers of Jainism since their childhood, and they were attendees of the JVB Gyanshala during their youth. They were part of the first congregation to be initiated by Samnijis when JVB London was first started over 15 years ago. With the guidance and blessings of the Samnijis, they will be taking and talking today on the methodology of change and how we can use the practical tools the Jain religion gives us to seek better, happier, and more fulfilled life. Rhim is currently studying engineering at Oxford University and is founding and formalizing the Oxford Jain Society. He is the founder of an environmental ahimsa startup company called Carbon Codes, promoting vegetarianism eating habit. Yeah. Soham currently works for an American investment bank, Goldman Sachs, within the capital market division. Growing up outside of London, they have used the Jain principle as a backbone of their nurturing growth and development. Having the constant connection with Samniji, Samni Pratibha Pragyaji has been a great support and pillar in their lives. Without further ado, I would like to hand it over to Soham and Rhim. Om Haram. Over to you, Soham and Rhim. I think you are on mute. We can't hear you, Soham.
Sorry about that. We'll start again.
That's fine.
Guys. Omaram and Jai Jindra, everyone, and Vandami respected Samnijis and my obeisance to Acharya Mahapragya and Acharya Mahashraman. It's great to see so many of you here today, and we're excited to present our talk on the methodology of change as part of the JVB London Youth Wing. Before we start, please join us in saying the Noka Mantra. Om Namo Arihantanam, Om Namo Siddhanam, Om Namo Ayaryanam, Om Namo Vijayanam, Namo Loye Savasahunam. Eso Panchanamo Karo, Savapapanasanam, Mangarancha Sabasim, Param Have Mangalam. Omaram. So today's talk will be on methodology of change. To get to the root of this discussion, we'll first look at why we want to change, what inner change is, and how we can lead to greater external transformation in our lives, and then dive deeper into how Jainism gives us the framework for this spiritual change and what tools we have at our disposal. The discussion aims to be extremely practical, non-sectarian, and there will of course be an opportunity to ask questions at the end of the talk. All right. So to get started, I'd like to share a pretty shocking statistic that I read that revealed that 65% of 18 to 25-year-olds actually have reported feelings of depression, anxiety, or stress in the current lockdown situation. Now, I think a lot of you will probably agree with me that this is a pretty shocking figure, and it really shows that we need to be reminded as much as possible, more now than ever, on how we can use the tools we have at our disposal to help change, transform, and elevate ourselves. So I'm going to start with Jainism is not a religion, it's a way of life. It's a pretty bold statement, I know, but it's not without justification. Now, when you look at the core of Jainism, it really isn't about rituals or worship. It's not about superstition or when the next full moon is, because Jainism is far deeper and more meaningful than that. When you strip away the pomp and the ritual, and in its very essence, Jainism is about finding self-realization. Now, that road to self-realization that Jainism unlocks through its method, practice, and philosophy makes it a way of living, a way of life, a way to see the world in an enlightened perspective. We are truly blessed to have Jainism and great sages and gurus like the respected Samani Ji, Samani Pratibha Pragya Ji, Acharya Tulsi, Acharya Mahapragya, Acharya Mahashraman, who are just some of those who have helped illuminate this way of living for us. Now, Jainism really gives us all the tools we need to achieve self-realization, become happier in our lives, and this talk extracts just some of these fascinating and wondrous gifts that our Tirthankaras and our blessed gurus and acharyas have distilled for us throughout the years to ensure spiritual resilience and maximize happiness. So we really come down to the question on why do we follow a spiritual path? Why do we choose to practice Jainism? Because regardless of our path or practice, our primary motivating factor is that we want to change something in our lives. And this change is the central constant that flows between everyone's life. And we are surrounded by this change. It's the world we live in, is constantly and is always transient. We want to reduce inner anxiety. We want to experience peace of mind. We want to feel better, be happier, and be healthier. We want more vitality and more joy. We want a better life, loving relationships, and meaningful and prosperous work. So whatever the issue is, our human journey really comes down to just three things: change, transformation, and evolution. Because every single life form is going through a transformation, and each life form wants to be happy, including animals. And motivation comes from inner desire, from deep within our subconscious. And every single life form wants to change. And it's what drives our basal needs when you think about it. So to change, we must be motivated. To transform, we must change our inner and projected energy. And to evolve, we must actively engage in the creation of our own reality. So in order to understand this within the context and framework of our environment, there are some assumptions that we have to take, and that's what we'll be going through next. So really, there are three main or core assumptions that we can take. Firstly, is that everything in the universe is made up of energy, including ourselves. And modern science as well, of course, supports this, because in order to make any change to matter, energy must first be applied to it. And this doesn't just necessarily apply to, the atoms and particles we have around us, but also to our own lives. Because if we want to make change in our lives, we need to shift our energy. The second assumption we can have is that our inner reality creates our outer reality. As we hit our mental, emotional, and physical states, we create changes in our circumstances, environments, and relationships. Because what we think, we believe, and in such, we become those thoughts over time. And lastly, it's about free will. Free will is the gift that we humans are given to make change in our lives. And the evolutionary nature of the universe ensures that we will grow and be transformed. So free will is what gives us this opportunity to make conscious choices, and free will is what makes conscious choices and change possible. So now, given these assumptions that we've talked about, we can look further into this model and look at the framework for inner change and transformation. And then that will later serve as a springboard for further investigation and discussion, where we'll examine the tools needed in an anecdotal form for this change to occur. So we'll look at the model of transformation. So really, there's three pillars that we'll look at in this. The first is about changing yourself, your thoughts, your energy, your projections, and then your life will change. Second is about our touchstone, that every situation and challenge is about our mindset and energy, because we are our own responsibility. And it's our own karmic account and our reaction to it that we have the power to control. And lastly, it's about the fact that we live in the question. We should always be asking ourselves, what can I do? What can I be today to align and resonate with the life I choose to create for myself? And these are powerful questions that we can use on a daily basis to analyze and understand our own mental state. Because in order to transform, we need an evolution, a growing change within our very being. So in order for us to segue into the next section, we'll look at the evolutionary transformation. And this is held within 6 key frameworks: experience, activation, alignment, evolutionary change, awareness and consciousness, and self-empowerment. And I'll go through all of these in more detail now. Experience. Life in our physical reality is about experience through our senses. Our beliefs define the parameters in which we allow to limit ourselves to experience life. Our physical experience, right, is the extent to which we actually feel our lives through our senses. So knowing or unknowingly, one of our goals is then to experience our energy or sense of self within our body, because we're constantly exposed to everything our five senses can feel, but it's our inner desire to understand our own soul. Second is activation. Our body is the temple of our soul. So as we cleanse and relax and systematically move our body, we're able to revitalize and maintain our temple. And then when we keep our body healthy, and in doing so, we invite more aspects of our soul to become known to us. So at the end of the day, right, our soul is housed within our body, and taking care externally allows us to take care of our soul internally. Third is about alignment. Now, this is about raising our mental state to attract what we wish to achieve in our lives, because what we think manifests into speech. What we say manifests into action, and aligning all three of body, speech, and mind puts us in sync. Evolutionary change. As we change our energy, we change our lives. And you got to remember that this is because change happens incrementally. It's not an instant process or quick fix, and permanent change requires shifts in all aspects of our being: mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual. Awareness and consciousness. We need to be consistent in becoming more aware of our thoughts, emotions, and how they create internal and external realities. Thus, we are able to become more aware of opportunities and are able to take advantage of them. And lastly, it's about self-empowerment, because self-empowerment is both a feeling and an experience. Inner focus is one of our most rewarding and empowering achievements. Once we realize what we are doing and with our mind and our emotional body, we can alter our inner habits and thus change both our inner and outer reality. And our self-empowerment gives us the confidence to be able to do that. So now that we've explored the model for transformation and change, we've explored these abstract concepts, we can use this framework to explore the tools we have at our disposal. And I really want to bring this back to the fact that Jainism is not a religion, it's a way of life. And Jainism has given us all of these fantastic tools that we're able to distill, just some of them today. So these 9 tools will take up the remaining of the session, and will apply some of these abstract concepts, like I said, that we've discussed so far, into much more meaningful and easy to follow snippets. I'm hoping you'll find them very practical, eye-opening examples of how we can make practical change in very easy, simple steps in our lives. I mean, sometimes it's literally just about shifting our worldview or moving towards a new paradigm that will allow us to see major differences in our lives. So the first one, maintain your perspective. Is there a wiser, more enlightened way at looking at a negative situation? So, according to an old story, a man with a serious illness was wheeled into a hospital room where another patient was resting on a bed next to the window. As the two became friends, the one next to the window would look out of it and spend a few hours vividly describing the world outside. Some days he would describe the beauty of the trees in the park from across the hospital and how the leaves would dance in the wind. On other days, he would entertain his friend with step-by-step replays of the things people were doing as they walked past the hospital. One night, the patient who had been given his friend so much happiness by recounting the sights outside the window unfortunately died and was wheeled out of the hospital room. The other man then quickly asked that his bed would be placed next to the window. But as he looked outside the window, he discovered something that made him shake. The window outside faced a brick wall. There were no trees, no park, and his former roommate had conjured up the incredible sights that he described all in his imagination, as a loving gesture to make the world of his friend a little better during a difficult time. He had acted out of selfless love. Now, honestly, this story never fails to create a shift in perspective when I think about it. To live a happier, more fulfilling life, when we encounter a difficult circumstance, we must keep shifting our perspective, right? And continually asking ourselves, is there a wiser, more enlightened way of looking at this seemingly negative situation? I mean, when you think of us in our entire galaxy, we are literally a tiny blip, a minor planet in one of 100,000 million galaxies. Now that really is a shift for perspective, because given this information, are our troubles really that big? Are the problems we have experienced or the challenges we might be currently facing really as serious as we've made them out to be? Because we walk this planet for such a short time, and in the overall scheme of things, our lives are mere blips in the canvas of eternity. So all I can say is have the wisdom to enjoy the journey and savor the process.
Okay, so now moving on towards tool number 2, practice tough love. The golden thread of a highly successful and meaningful life is self-discipline. The respected Samnijis are exemplary examples of the highest form of self-discipline. Discipline allows you to do all of those things that you know in your heart you should do, but never feel like doing. So without self-discipline, you will not set clear goals, manage your time effectively, treat people well, persist through the tough times, care for your health, or think positive thoughts. I call the habits of self-discipline tough love, because getting tough with yourself is actually a very loving gesture. By being stricter with yourself, you will begin to live life more deliberately and on your own terms, rather than simply reacting to life the way a leaf floating in a stream drifts according to the flow of the current on a particular day. The quality of your life is ultimately shaped by the quality of our choices and decisions, ones that range from the career you choose to pursue to the books you read, the time that you wake up every morning, and the thoughts you think during the hours of your day. When you consistently flex your willpower by making those choices that you know are right ones, rather than the easy ones, you take back control of your life. Effective, fulfilled people do not spend their time doing what is most convenient and comfortable. They have the courage to listen to their hearts and do the wise thing. This habit is what makes them great. And number 3, honor your past. Every second you dwell on the past, you steal away from your future. Every minute you spend focusing on your problems, you take away from finding your solutions. Thinking about all those things that you wish never happened to you is actually blocking all the things you want to happen from entering your life. Given the timeless truth that you become what you think about it, it makes no sense to worry about past events or mistakes unless you want to experience them for a second time. Instead, use the lessons you have learned from your past to rise to a whole new level of awareness and enlightenment. Life's greatest setbacks reveal life's biggest opportunities. Use these life lessons to fuel our future growth. Always remember, happy people have often experienced as much adversity as those who are unhappy. What sets them apart is that they have the good sense to manage their memories in a way that enriches their lives. Understand that if you have failed more than others, there is a very good chance you are living more completely than others. Those who take more chances and dare to be more and do more than others will naturally experience more failures. Personally, I would rather have the bravery to try something and then fail than never to try it at all. I would much prefer spending the rest of my days expanding my human frontiers and trying to make the seemingly impossible probable than live a life of comfort, security, and mediocrity. That's the essence of true life success. So now we're going to move on to point number 4, talk to yourself. There is a profound influence of the words and language we use on a daily basis. It can be shaped to create a more enlightened pathway of thought. The profound impact and importance of the words we use in our daily communications, both with others and with ourselves, on the quality of our lives is huge. To achieve this, we can apply a simple technique, one that involves nothing more than selecting a phrase that you will train your mind to focus on at different times throughout the day until it becomes to dominate our awareness and reshape the person you are. If it is inner peace and calm you seek, then repeat the phrase, I am so grateful that I am a serene and tranquil person. If there's more confidence that you want, it could be, I am delighted that I am full of confidence and boundless courage. Repeat this phrase softly under your breath as you walk to work, as you wait in line, or as you wash the dishes to fulfill otherwise unproductive times of your day with a powerful life improvement force. Try to say your personal phrases at least 200 times a day for at least 4 weeks. The results will be profound as you take one giant step to finding the peace, prosperity, and purpose your life requires. Because the words that enlighten the soul are more precious than jewels. Point number 5 now, care for the temple. To stay focused, balanced, and at our peak amid the demands of our busy schedules, in a sound body rests a sound mind. Our body is our temple. Our bodies need to be treated like temples and considered sacred if we hope to live life fully and completely. Regular exercise will not only improve our health, it will help you think more clearly, boost creativity, and manage the relentless stress that seems to dominate our days. Research has in fact proven that exercise will not only add to your life years, it could add years to your life. One study of 18,000 Harvard alumni found that every hour spent on exercise added 3 hours of the participants' lives. Few investments will yield a better return than time spent on physical fitness. And remember, those who don't make time for exercise must eventually make time for illness. Okay, now tool number 6 is to laugh more. According to one study, the average 4-year-old laughs 300 times a day, while the average adult laughs only about 15 times a day. With all these obligations, stresses, and activities that fill our days, we have forgotten how to laugh. Daily laughter is shown to elevate our moods, promote creativity, and give us more energy. Laughing for 5 minutes in front of the mirror every morning to start the day on a high note really works. Laughter therapy has even been used to cure illnesses and heal those with serious mental health issues. We don't laugh because we are happy because we laugh.
All right, great. So point number 7 is around practicing gratitude. This is a real practical tool that we can use every day to give thanks because it automatically focuses our attention on what's working in our life instead of what's not working. Now, this shift in perception actually changes brain chemistry and counteracts the negative thinking that is the hallmark of depression. So a study done in Berkeley found that gratitude unshackles us from toxic emotions by focusing us on blessings in our life. It then becomes really actually harder for us to have any negative experiences. And they found that gratitude has lasting effects on the brain. And they did a study actually for people who were writing gratitude letters against those who didn't. And they found that the gratitude letter writers showed greater activation it was the medial prefrontal cortex when they experienced gratitude as seen in an MRI scanner. A perfect example of this is that the respected Samnijis have been going through the Vipak Sutra, and my Hindi isn't the best, but Mum's thankfully been translating it for us. But the theme throughout Samniji's lectures are the same, and it's very, very apparent how rare and lucky we are to have a human birth, because countless cycles of death and rebirth have landed us only now with the Jain Dharma we have today. And it's given us the tools we needed for emancipation. So if you can be grateful for anything, take thanks that we're human. And if we make the right choices, we can, of course, rise up that spiritual ladder to enlightenment, after which really none of our material problems will even matter. 8 is self-ahimsa. So this is about learning to love ourselves. Ahimsa, I know, is more traditionally thought of as being a way to treat others, not just other humans, but also animals. And it's the reason why Jainism is the biggest proponent of a plant-based lifestyle, free from fish, meat, and eggs, because you are what you eat, and the vegetarian diet supports that. However, ahimsa isn't just for other people. It can, and it quite frankly should be used on ourselves as well, because it's about practicing compassion and love towards ourselves. And you can think of violence as any highly energetic form relating to a person, including ourselves, that is jarring, turbulent, or even distorting. And I'm probably sure that most of us can identify a few times in the last couple of days where we have treated ourselves in an abrupt or negative manner. I mean, violence against ourselves is probably one of the greatest denials of our time, because people are very willing to talk about violence that the world does towards them, but they're much less willing on their own to talk about violence that they do to themselves. So I guess the point of this is to take some time each day to close your eyes, relax your shoulders, and let your mind settle on the breath without trying to control it. In the ensuing quietness, see for yourself how mysterious life is and ask for forgiveness and compassion for yourself. The last point is around the power of sound. I actually deliberately left this point at the end, not because it's unimportant, but because of how strongly I believe in it. When I talk about sound and the power it has, I specifically mean that the vibrations that repetitive chanting of mantras has. And I'll talk about this from a very personal perspective, actually, and some of the profound things that I've seen in my life, because I have huge faith in our mantras and they have incredible transformative power. It's very similar, actually, to the food that we eat. What we eat becomes a part of our body. It nourishes and it feeds us, and mantras themselves are very similar, because when we say a mantra enough, it becomes part of us, giving life to our body, mind, and soul. It changes our karmic balance. I think the two main ingredients, though, when it comes to doing this is having repetition and faith. Because when you combine meditation, breathing, and mantras all together, it creates a very powerful recipe for inner change and transformation. I would definitely say that it's subtle at first, and I'm sure many of you who can also relate that it can span a lifetime. Have faith in our mantras, and our Noka mantra is timeless and not specific to any one god or deity. And it's really been composed in such a way that it contains all of the seed sounds that helps us to unlock right faith, right conduct, and right worldview. And when we have all three of these, bliss is definitely guaranteed. And I guess the last point to cover is that we should enjoy our process, because this is our life. How you change, what you create, and how your life choices are makes a difference in your evolutionary unfoldment. And this is our unique life. So each of us should be blessed to experience the wonders of our own being. There is no perfection, and it's our attitude. There's no perfect life, there's no perfect relationship, and there's no perfect job. We all strive for perfection, but what we reap is the fruit of our thoughts. So I really hope you found these tools helpful and informative. Stay blessed, stay blissed, and enjoy your life. Omaram.
Onaram.
I think we can open up for questions now.
First of all, thanks a lot, Sohum and Rhim, for this simulating talk.
Thank you very much for having us.
Yeah, and the talk was indeed mesmerizing. And what less can we expect from people whose name are so good and relevant, Sohum and Rhim. Okay, so at this point, I'd like to, from all the participants in this talk, I'd like to give them a chance to ask questions from our very young and dynamic presenters today. And we'll collate them and ask them on your behalf. Okay, so one of the questions that I've received is, so would you like to share probably one of the very good memories that you might have from your early experience with Samnijis and JVB as a whole?
Do you want to go for it? Okay. Yeah, so we've been going to Samnijis since we were, little children. And one of the fondest memories we have is within the JVB Gyanshala. I still remember, when we were younger at the Saya Center, which was the building that the Samnijis had many years ago now. and there was the play, the presentation that the Gyanshala were doing, and it was a wonderful experience, interacting with the Samnijis, receiving their blessings and their guidance and their teachings, and then having all of the other kids within the session come together and then present this to all the parents. That's definitely been one of my fondest memories, for certain.
Lovely, lovely. Okay, so now we have some questions trickling in. So first of all, some congratulatory notes that it was a very great session, very insightful. Thanks a lot for that. There are others who are asking, what was your recipe for the 3 meditation, mantra, and so it was a 3M, was there?
Yeah, it was meditation, mantra, and breath work. So the combination, the combination of these 3 together it creates a very, very powerful life force, to change and enact transformation within ourselves. Yeah.
Lovely. Parasmal Janji wants to ask, would you relate the law of attraction and autosuggestion?
Yeah, no, definitely. I think that when it comes to having the law of attraction, what we create and what we think ourselves, what we manifest for ourselves within our souls, within our very being, creates a lot of inner change, and is able to fulfill and create a major chance for transformation within our lives. When it comes to actually auto-suggesting these kinds of things and actually having to make these changes a reality, having the law of attraction and auto-suggestion come together can help to make these things possible. And I mean, I myself in my life, have found that if I suggest something to myself, I want to, learn something quicker, I want to, do something faster, then I find that the more I tell myself that I can do it, that positive affirmation and reaffirming that to myself actually allows me to attract the fruits of what I want to achieve. So they do definitely both go hand in hand, definitely.
Lovely. We've got a new question, and that is, what is the source of strength as a Jain?
So I'd say personally for me, and probably for most Jains, it's in fact the Nolka mantra. I think having that in our lives is such a great help, such a great power. This one Nolka mantra, this one sort of mantra which encapsulates everything. And I think personally for me, that's been one of my main sources of strength.
Lovely, lovely. Too good to hear. Okay. I've also heard from some sources that both of you can sing very well, specifically some of the sutras. Could you please oblige us with a couple of lines if you'd like?
Sure, we definitely could. Should we do Uvasagadam Stotra?
Yeah, we can do Uvasagadam.
We can do Uvasagadam Stotra. Is that okay?
Yeah, of course. The stage is yours.
1, 2, 3. Uvasagaharam, Uvasagaharam. Sorry, we'll start again.
Yeah, sure.
2, 3. Uvasagaharam pasam mandami kamagaramukam visahara ninnasam mangala kallana vasam visahara lingamantam kante dale josayamano tasagaharo kamari tutchara janti uvasamam chitta dure manto tuchpanamo vibhaufalo hoye nartriye suvijiva pavantina dukkado gacham तो सम्मते लत्ते चिंतामणि कप पाए बब्बये पावन्ति अभिज्ञानम जीवाय राम रमताणम ये संतो महायस बत्ते वन्य बरे नहीं रेणम तादेव दिच्च बोहिम भवे भवे पास जिन चंद भवे पास जिन चंद. There we go. Oh, madam.
Lovely. Thanks a lot. Though the request was for Loga Sutra, but that's fine. We'll let you sing what you are comfortable singing. Okay. Another question that has come from Nitin and Bipin Shahji, and that is, can you recommend any good books to read to our listeners today?
Oh, okay. I would definitely say that The Power of Now is a very good book to read. And I would also recommend a book by Robin Sharma, the monk who sold his Ferrari. It's a very interesting read, and he puts a very nice spin on life and different perspectives that we can take in our daily lives. And he's given a lot of different sort of practical examples on how we can take, just daily situations that occur to us and put a positive spin on them. So yeah, those are definitely two books.
Lovely. Thanks a lot for that. I'll definitely be looking forward to reading those books myself. Okay, we have got another question from Rahul G. When have you been in a situation that is very hard to get through? And what would you recommend to do given that situation?
So I'd definitely say my university entrance was quite challenging time. I think for most students it is, A levels and exams. But it's, the Jain Dharma and having it as a pillar of strength and support has been really fantastic for me. And I would definitely say that a source of a lot of my inspiration has been my mum as well. She's always been there for us both, always guiding us. And considering we live very far away, we're not in central London, we live outside of the city. It's always been mum who's been pushing us forward and driving us to always learn more and engage more with the Jain Dharma.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's I definitely say it's
Definitely.
been our mum behind us, pushing us towards the Jain religion. But then the Jain religion itself has so many tools and it has such beauty within it that has allowed us to really make the most benefit out of the religion.
Lovely. Great to hear that. Okay, so listeners, so if there are any further questions, please feel to ask. Otherwise, I'd like to pass on the baton to respected Samniji to please give her comments upon the talk and also the closing remarks upon the same.
I pay my homage to Vitrag Bhagwan Mahavir, Reverend Gurudev Sri Mahashramanji, brothers and sisters. First of all, I would like to thank Jayesh and Jagruti. Might people will ask me, why not Sohum and Rhim? Yes, Jayesh and Jagruti both made their effort, and I can say, if you want to teach your babies, try to teach when you conceive. These 9 months are very, very important. And here at JVB, we have prenatal services through meditation, through yoga, through diet control, through positive contemplation. So one of my project is that. So I don't know what Jagruti did, leave it. But definitely, when these boys are in this world, she has taken lots of rights, lots of effort, and lots of time. When I say, Jagruti, you are late. Samiji, look, I'm so far from the maiding crowd of London. I'm in Reading. So yes, she and Jace both lives in London, and London is in Reading. So driving and reaching from there is really difficult. So, but where there is a will, there is a way. So she used to came and used to bring, and I have seen that when sponge is in the water, it sucks the water. Sometimes parents worrying, I don't know why we take there, might our kids like or not like. This is not a question of liking and not liking. Put the sponge in the water, the sponge will suck it. Similarly, our baby's mind is like a sponge and they suck it. You see, these grown-up boys, if their mom and dad now start Gyansala things, dropping in their mind, it is not possible. Am I right, Sohum and Rhim?
Definitely. 100%. Starts from a young age. I agree.
Yes. So now it is not possible. So what early stage is when baby is available. Even baby don't understand. 1-year-old baby, 2 years old baby, 3 years old baby. You bring them and they will shock so many things in their mind. And when they start speaking, it is amazing experience during the 48 days. Last night we completed a 48 days challenge, and that was our Bhaktamar journey. So, the youngest student of my Bhaktamar class, only 3 years old. And he speak one slok so nicely, so nice recitation, it's mesmerizing. So a 3 years old can learn, but it is environment. Always mommy open the Zoom and keep, and he feel that environment. So it is something, the blessing in the corona time, that people can feel that connectivity. We can feel that connectivity. So what we can teach during the toddler age, during the childhood, and during the teenage, that imprints will go far behind and become a part of our being. So that I can see. So Sohum and Rhim, they started their journey, and I can see the name also impact us. Sohum. Can you explain your name? What is the meaning?
Yeah, it's Sohum is that which is. So it's the embodiment of the entire universe, basically, in Sohum. So yeah.
Yeah. Sa aham means I am that. That means Paramatma, which is totally beyond the karma, the binding, the cycle of birth and death, means the siddhood, the purest state. So I'm that. I'm connecting. And again, Rhim. Rhim, can I interview what is your name and meaning?
So Rhim is one of the seed sounds, the core seed sounds, and it relates to the 24 Tatankas.
Great. So Rhim, again, let me explain a bit more, because Ha is an alphabet and it is coming in the last. So A start and Ha ends, most of the hair. So, in Ha, it is the sound of space. Akash Bij. So Akash means covering the whole universe, cosmic space and supracosmic space. So it is abundant space. And then you see, Ha is the power of wealth, power of something concrete. So here, Ha and the and Ra inside it. So Ra is energy beach, energy sound. So Ha, Ra. And again, E sound. So that E is denoting to the Dharanendra, Padmavati, and Parshanath. So Ha, Ra, E. So Re, and again dot. So Rhim. So Dharnendra, Parshnath, Padmavati. So it is again the guardian deities of the Tirthankar Parshnath, which are still very, very powerful. And it is knitted in the mantras, and it is the mantra of Bhagwan Parshnath. And again, it is the mantra of wealth as well. So spiritual wealth, material wealth, and cosmic energy, supracosmic energy. And on the top of it, the Jain Acharya made a nyas, means fixing, installing 24 Tirthankaras on the Rhim. So Rhim is again very, very powerful name. So Rhim has worldly power, spiritual power, and Sohum has the purest power. So, you know, you both blessed with very, very good name, which is connected with Jainism, which is connected with Mantra Shastra, and really, it is a good thing that what you have absorbed through the sutra. I'm so astonished that your mom is passing on this Vipaka Sutra. So Vipaka Sutra, nowadays we are studying Vipaka Sutra Monday and Wednesday night. And during that time, how the karma played its role. So it is good that through the story, how Bhagavan Mahavir delivered their last sermon on the karma theory and how karma make a big change in our life. So that is Vipak Sutra. So both of you used this Jainism knowledge, but you placed it in a simplific mode and in the language which is useful to make a bridge between our youth, between our community, so people can understand so what is important and what is we can use in a simplified manner. That Jain gospels are, Jainism is a religion, definitely it is proved, but Jainism is a philosophy, because without philosophy there is no concrete things. So Jainism has its own philosophy, and that philosophy created a way, and that is the Sohum and Rhim today presented the Jain way of life. So that a methodology which can be derived from the Jain Sutra, from the Jain religion, from the Jain philosophy, and it became an applied philosophy, an applied religion, and that is really a lifestyle, and that lifestyle is Jain lifestyle. And thank you so much, because next week our Jain JVB Sala is going to present the Jain lifestyle, which is a part of Acharya Mahapragya's book, Who is Jain Sravak? So JVB Sala is going to present on this. So again, we have a very good connectivity. And again, I would like to connect that today, how he has taken that these gospels are very important in our day-to-day life. Through our positive affirmation, we have that mechanism inside us, and we can use that power to heal ourselves, to feel ourselves, to understand ourselves, and to grow our own capacity through our own religious golden sutras. So building upon this, my next lecture will be Ayurveda and Praksha meditation, how Acharya Mahapragya present a self Ayurveda, which is in a meditative practice. And so I think that would be very, very important to learn more these days, in the days of Corona, how we can make a small, small light from us, from Acharya's books, from Mahavir Sutra. So I'm so happy that it is a strength to strength, building a block towards the making Jainism more and more powerful, more and more spiritual, because these youth is our torch bearer. These Gyansala people are our strength. So I would like to bless them and thank you. On the centenary of Acharya Mahapragya, our youth is also first lecture by JVB Kevali Shah. That was also taken very, very good. And again, this is again the Sohum Rhim's lecture, and still many more to come in my pipeline. There are so many youth lecture are pending. So JVB is going to present their youth lecture, because they are our future, and future is now. So again, thank you, all the listeners, all the participants, and all our supporters. And thank you to Shubhamji, that you have taken all the preparation behind the scene of this program. So again, thank you to each and everybody. Om Arham, blessing to Sohum, Rhim, Jayesh, Jagrati. Om Arham. And I would like to recite Mangal part. Hold your hands in prayer pose. Close your eyes gently. Breathe in, breathe out. Take positivity. Take peace within you. Namo Arhantanam, Namo Siddhanam, Namo Ayaryanam, Namo Uvajjayanam, Namo Loe Sabbasahunam, Eso Panchanamokaro, Sabbapavapanasano, Mangalanam cha Sabbesing, Padhamang Havai Mangalam. Chattari Mangalam, Arhanta Mangalam, Siddha Mangalam, Sahu Mangalam, Kevali Pannato, Dhammo Mangalam, Chattari Loguttama, Arhanta Loguttama, Siddha Loguttama, Sahu Loguttama, Kevali Pannato, Dhammo Loguttamo, Chattari Saranam Pavajjami, Arhante Saranam Pavajjami, Siddhe Saranam Pavajjami, Sahu Saranam Pavajjami, Kevali Pannatang Dhammang Saranam Pavajjami. Siddhi Sadhu Pranami Kari, ऋषभादिक 24 स्तवना करूं प्रमोद धरी, जय जस कर जगदीश, जय जस कर जगदीश. ओम अरहम.
कृतज्ञोस्मि हम सब आपके आभारी हैं. कृतज्ञोस्मि हम सब आपके आभारी हैं. कृतज्ञोस्मि हम सब आपके आभारी हैं. Nami Namaksami.
Nami Namaksami. Thank you very much, Swamiji, for giving us this opportunity. We very much appreciate it. Thank you very much, JVB London, for having us, and thank you everyone for joining us today.
Thank you.
On the talk. Thank you very much, Samni Fatima Phagyaji. Vandami. Om Maram.
Om Maram.
Om Maram.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. Thanks again, Sohum and Rhim. Thanks a lot for taking us through this talk today. It was really enlightening and really captivating. Thank you.
Thanks.
शिशु को आज